There are more people that still come.
Yeah. Still coming.
Excuse me. No, wait. Yeah, you have to be in the picture. Sorry. Sir.
Last year in Arusha. So I call upon Mr. Zaki Juma to present his report. Thank you. Zaki Juma,
Chairperson of the last year Regional Implementation Workshop Organizing Committee. I'm going to present a report, highlights of the last year's Regional Implementation Workshop. But before I start, I would like to remind you, the participants, that the full report was circulated to all participants in January this year. The IFAD Regional Implementation Workshop for 2011 was held in Arusha, Tanzania, at Arusha International in Arusha. And the theme was Managing for Impact. The workshop was attended by 220 participants from 21 countries. Delegates from IFAD headquarters in Rome and officials from the Tanzanian government also attended the workshop. The workshop was conducted in a participatory and interactive way, where issues were analyzed and identified and solutions were explored, followed by open space sessions, which created a very active mode of sharing experiences from projects and topics in a very interactive mode. There were also discussions which were pulled together to a framework of managing for impact. Finally, there were field visits which helped to ground the discussion in the reality the project faces. During the first day started with the opening session as usual. The opening session consisted of an opening remark from the organizing committee chairperson, context-setting remarks by outgoing director ESA, Mr. Addis, a keynote address by permanent secretary, Mr. Mohamed Muya, and the opening speech was delivered. The opening speech by Minister for Finance was read on his behalf by the Deputy Minister Pereira Amesilima. In his context-setting address, the outgoing director reiterated that The workshop is about sharing of lessons and telling about the experiences that we have, both for the things that work and the things that do not work, and in particular finding reasons why certain things do not work and learn from each other. He went on further saying, managing for impact is focused at improving the livelihood of the rural poor that we are here to serve as participants, government staff, IFAD staff, all partners and stakeholders. The director concluded by saying what we hope to achieve from the workshop is to get a better understanding from our program on how we can better go about it, and thus feeding back into our country programs by feeding back into our designs and supervision mission of our program. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and Cooperative, Mr. Mohamed Muya, started by commending IFAD for organizing the workshop, and he pointed out that the workshop had come at an opportune moment that will enable participants to share experiences, challenges, and discuss the way forward, leading to attainment of projects and program objectives. The PS was convinced that during the workshop, participants will be able to share evidence-based results and best practices that members could roll out as success stories upon returning to their respective countries. In his opening speech, the Minister for Finance welcomed the delegates and appreciated IFAD's support to the agriculture sector, which has been very effective in delivering the intended benefits. He pointed out that the current global food shortage is partly due to low productivity in agriculture, particularly in Africa. He believed that the project and the program that the participants at the workshop are implementing have the potential to contribute to the solution to the persistent problem of hunger and poverty in Africa. The Honorable Minister concluded his speech by requesting participants to discuss on what is missing in our current programs, what improvements do we have to make to these programs in order to make lasting impact. We as implementers of this program should also consider how differently we should conduct business in order to achieve the noble objective. The session following the official opening was setting the scene, where the facilitator introduced the facilitation team and requested participants to do the introduction exercises. The plenary session was dedicated to 4 presentations and interactive discussion. The first presentation was an overview of the previous regional implementation workshop, where a brief presentation highlighting the happening and the outcome of the regional implementation workshop that was held in Maputo, Mozambique. Mozambique was presented. This was to create a clear understanding and to take stock of what went well and what didn't went well. The second presentation was Managing for Impact in Smallholder Agriculture Development Experience from Past Trust in Tanzania. The paper presented the background reviews to the concept of managing for impact, its importance, and detail of the concept as an opportunity to develop smallholder in developing countries. It also gave out a framework of conceptualizing and implementing projects for positive impact. And finally, the paper gave an outline of the project case of private